It's my favorite time of the year, and more specifically, my favorite week of the year, because, Matt, Xbox, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass.
That's the episode.
And let's be honest, I'm mostly a PlayStation fanboy, but I'm not really a fanboy of anything, if we're being honest. PC mostly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're pragmatic to a certain extent. We're fans of PC, and we skew towards PlayStation because they are not PC friendly. So
and you
cover more bases if you get those two.
Right, because I get the benefit of playing every Xbox game on PC now.
Yep.
So I have no reason to have an Xbox, but I do support Microsoft. That being said, I do think we are correct in being the most pragmatic game news podcast recap there is.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Bar none.
I generally pride myself on the ability to
I pride myself as a man of faith. There's a deep drive to left.
I pride myself on my ability to maintain an objective mindset, but also have opinions on things. So, like, for example, I appreciate what Nintendo does, but I do not like Nintendo.
That's true. That is true. There is a great disdain for Nintendo things from Matt.
Generally, but I get it for the most part.
But it's understood, it's respected, and it's able to be discussed where it's good, bad, whatever.
But not my jam.
Yeah, doesn't mean he's going to play it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is Gamers 2 Podcast, your weekly roundup of news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that might pique our interest.
Do the reference for nobody to see.
Yep, peak.
I got some things that might pique your interest.
New releases, maybe.
Believe it or not.
Oh, my God.
Like, number 1, Resident Evil 2 for the PS5 and Series X. Or Resident Evil 3 for the PS5 and Series X. Or Resident Evil 7 for the PS5 and Series X.
What the fuck? They skipped a couple.
Let me just blow your mind real quick. Number 4, Jurassic World Evolution 2 Dominion Biosyn Expansion. Whatever that means. Autonauts roll out. PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Number 6, Neon White for the PC and Switch. I actually might check that out.
All right. On PC or Switch?
PC.
All right, PC.
I've every time I watch it, I'm like, that seems like it would be a fun, like, just kind of do some stuff while I'm kind of doing like other, like waiting for other things.
I don't even know what it is.
It's the game where you play as a demon from hell trying to kill enough to get into heaven, I think, is the way they preface it.
Okay.
Speedrun friendly, like, the whole thing is how fast can you finish a level, I believe. Or that's a large part of it. So, like, some of the levels you can do in, like, 24 seconds, but a lot of the movement and stuff seems pretty cool. I really like watching it, so I've debated giving it a shot to, like, play it and see if it catches me in the playing way.
All right.
Number 7, Overlord Escape from Nazarick for the PC and Switch. Number 8, Redoubt 2 for the PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Number 9, Starship Troopers Terran Command for the PC. Are you doing your part, Matt?
To become a citizen?
Is that the rest of the line?
No, I don't know.
Do you not? I'm pretty sure it's Starship Troopers where the
they do that whole thing where they're like, "Are you doing your part?" And
the soldier turns it's the quick.
Yeah, it's like become a citizen.
I'm doing my part. It's just that moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10, really weird meme tangent. Know your meme. Number 10, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge for the PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch.
A lot of people hyped for that one.
I'm hyped. I've already played the first level.
Oh my god.
Played it yesterday. And it just brought me back.
That's fair.
Brought me back to Saturday mornings and just booting up that SNES and playing Turtles in Time. Number 11, Zorro the Chronicles, the game for the PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. So if you ever wanted to become Inigo Montoya. Right? No, Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Same person.
No,
Are they the same actor?
I don't think so.
Who was Inigo Montoya?
I can't remember the guy's name, but he also was in. Later on in life, he was in.
Oh no,
Criminal Minds. Is that was the one? Was
that's
it
a
Criminal
TV
Minds?
show.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Criminal Minds. And then also Homeland.
I mean, Homeland is a show.
Homeland.
Yeah, it's an
I'm
HBO
not sure
show.
if that was
Homeland.
the name of it because I've been trying to watch The Boys, so I can just think of Homelander. But
If Homelander was in Homeland, that's a different show.
oh yeah.
That is a very different show.
What are you feeling?
I'm feeling evens.
Evens. All right, that works out nice.
I haven't even looked at them, so.
All right, so number one, it might be a long one because we got to go through a bunch of stuff.
That's true. We are recording this. We recorded last time before Xbox and Bethesda had its thing, before Xbox did an extended showcase. We didn't even talk about Devolver last week. I don't think it's on there this week.
No.
But hey, Devolver had their typical 20-minute video. You should go watch it. I'm actually excited for every one of their games except for one. So you should watch it.
All right, number one, it's an Xbox week because they had a showcase. Guerrilla Collective, Future Game Show, the PC Gaming Show, and Capcom Showcase also happened.
God, I forgot the PC Gaming Show happened.
I found a lovely recap from GameIndustry.biz.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's literally everything.
Let's go, Game Industry. Here we go.
So
is it by alphabetical order or is it by show?
I believe it's by date. So like the most recent stuff is first.
Okay, so we'd be going from, what's that, Capcom then?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, go for it. It seems like the easiest way to do it. Just whatever
So-
show we think we're at, and then go that way.
Capcom Showcase. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak demo. They showed off some fresh footage. Looks like it'll be out June 14th. Let's see here. Let's say demo release. A demo's coming out June 14th. The game is coming out the 30th.
So a demo is out now.
Yes. Exoprimal Test is coming. There was a new trailer, and it's some sort of co-op shooter. And it should be out. They're doing a network test soon, which is closed, unfortunately. And then it's launching in 2023.
All
right. This is going to be a little wonky. Actually, I mean, we could throw it in now. I think it's on the dock. But Capcom talked about their Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary digital event, which was happening yesterday, June 16th, which is where we found out about Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
So a little bit of a precursor there. But Resident Evil Village is getting a DLC called Shadows of Rose, which I believe is a series of like, I don't want to say short stories, but I think they're like every level is like a little self-contained thing. And one of them you play as the girl, the woman there that everyone freaked out about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
Lady
remember.
something.
Something. Demish. Oh, God.
Something.
Lady D.
Yep, Lady D with
It's
the
like,
double D's.
It's bigger than that.
Probably.
It's DIEME. No, ITRSCHU. Demetru, something like that.
Sounds good. We got they showed some gameplay for Resident Evil 4 remake.
Looked good. Looked up to the standards of their previous remakes.
Yeah. And that should be coming March 24th. And then there was next gen updates for the Resident Evil remake trio and 7. So Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, and then Resident Evil 7. Which I think they're out now.
It's the ones I rattled off earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So yeah. Next gen update on those.
I know you zone out, but
I don't I didn't know if there were updates or releases or what.
Yeah,
So.
it's just that stuff.
And that's it for Capcom.
Simple show.
Yeah.
But everything we expected. I mean,
feel like
not,
there's
not expected, but like it's what you'd expect out of a Capcom show, where both of us are kind of like, all right, that checks out. That feels like a Capcom show.
Next up is the big one. Xbox Bethesda Games Showcase.
Probably because it's extended, because I believe PC was between the regular showcase and the extended showcase. That's my guess.
Sure. Sounds good.
But hey, whichever one we're on, go for it.
Redfall gameplay was unveiled.
It was. I mean, it's Left 4 Dead with vampires.
Yeah.
With some more abilities. It has Left 4 Dead meets Evolve vibes. I think you played Evolve.
I didn't, but I saw a good amount of it.
Okay. So there were a few of us that did play Evolve. One of our mutuals that we used to work with was very into it. But they all had more hero powers, and you had like a kind of a building thing with that. And then it has obviously the Left 4 Dead by, oh, there's a whatever that one was. And it's like, oh, it's got a sack on its back. I bet it bloats things or it booms maybe. Maybe it's not a boomer. But, it's the whole thing.
Apparently, it's exclusive to Xbox consoles. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think it's a console exclusive to say that it's exclusive to Xbox consoles, but that it'll also be on PC is my guess.
It's supposed to come out sometime in 2023.
Yeah, I think they're targeting spring. I think everything that says for the most part is coming out in 23 is targeting spring, because the Xbox thing was, hey, here's stuff you can play in the next 12 months.
Next up was Hollow Knight Silk Song, sequel to Hollow Knight.
So again, they say 12 months, but they didn't even put 23 on their trailer. They didn't put a single date on their thing. But It's more Hollow Knight, which everybody wants. So,
Game Pass on that one.
Game Pass.
I don't know if Redfall was a Game Pass one.
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Game Pass? There's a graphic that shows more about the graphic I sent you guys.
We got another game from the Rick and Morty team, which is called High on Life.
So the
October
first
22nd.
game,
October 2022 is what I meant to say.
The first game was Trover Saves the Universe.
Yes.
Which was a VR/not VR game. You could play it in VR. You could also not play it in VR.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play it, but I watched it. I've watched it through a couple times now because it's one of a fun one to watch play, and it is written exactly how you'd think it would be. Like, it's a very funny writing, simple gameplay.
Yeah,
funny writing. This looks like a shooter action adventure, first person, with still that same writing, funniness, and joy, and quips and everything. So it will definitely draw attention, and I think it will be entertaining to play. Bonus points if you like Rick and Morty.
For sure.
And I don't, so I like the games. I just don't like Rick and Morty.
Next up was the Riot Microsoft partnership announcement.
Which I think that's huge.
That is a big one. Essentially, Riot is bringing a bunch of their games, almost all of them, I think, to Game Pass.
Yeah, they're bringing... I mean, all of them are free to play. But if you're subscribed to Game Pass... So they're bringing them to Game Pass. They're all free to play anyway. But if you're subscribed to Game Pass, you get massive bonuses in all of them.
Yeah. Players can unlock all characters and agents across League of Legends, Wild Rift, and Valorant.
So real
as
quick,
well as select Little Legends and Teamfight Tactics.
And specific cards in Legends of Runeterra.
Mm-hmm.
League has something like 170 champions. So, it's... Well, new players only get whatever's free that week and then kind of whatever. Oh, they're part of a Game Pass bundle and they have all 170. That's massive. I don't know what it costs in I mean, the Wild Rift part's huge too, because I know there's a bunch of people that play on their phones. Do you not have them? But the Valorant one, hey, we have the biggest CS:GO competitor now as part of our like partnership with us. And by the way, here's all the heroes and everything, all the whatever they call them. What they call them? Agents?
Yes, agents.
Yeah, here's all the agents. Okay, like that's they're just making it more and more accessible.
Next up was A Plague Tale Requiem.
Looked like a Plague Tale.
Yeah.
Except it looked way more violent than I've remembered Plague Tales being.
Yeah, I kind of remember Plague Tale being more like stealth, like problem solve, like a puzzle solving type thing.
Very much that, and like you had a sling, and sure you could get into combat, but it wasn't like you weren't meant to really. At least that's the way I feel about it. And this one's like, now she's sick of it. And she's out here snapping necks and taking names. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing now. But it'll be more interesting for how Plague Tale people feel about it than it doesn't matter how I feel about it.
Yeah. Forza Motorsports. So there was a bit of a detailed look at it. And it should be on Game Pass next spring.
Now, this I was excited to see. The timing's a little weird. To be next spring, but that's whatever. Doesn't really matter. But either way, it looked pretty. I'm hoping back to what you said downstairs, that they do go more sim than they have before, because now they have an arcade version in Horizon. They can afford to go more sim racing.
Mm-hmm. And there's kind of been a revival with sim racing games.
There's been a revival, and there's also been a standard set kind of where like you need to have X features to really be there type of thing. Yeah. Obviously on Game Pass, massive. I was slightly worried initially as they were revealing it because they weren't focusing on any of the driving. They're like, hey, look at the trees and these stones. And I was like, this has nothing
they
to do with it.
Your cliche racing game stuff, which is dynamic weather.
Now, that's
racing.
That stuff was correct, though. That's what they needed to do. They were literally just talking about foliage and look at the landscapes that we can build. And I was like, that's fine, but how do you drive? And then they brought up, they have dynamic lighting, so it literally will change as you drive, which is what you want in a sim. Hey, I've been driving for 3 hours. Why hasn't the sun changed position? So that's good. Then they're also bringing in weather, obviously, and dynamic weather is good. But the part that they also did bring up was weather plus lighting, obviously. If it's a hot, dry day, the track's hotter, so your grip changes versus obviously if it's raining. So they are talking about track manipulations, which will actually make you have to consider tire swaps and yada yada. So it does seem to, again, go back to alluding to more of a sim, obviously a sim feel, but a more sim feel with now them being able to do these things like modifying track temperature to affect your grip versus just saying it's wetter, get wet tires.
So Microsoft, it would be interesting if Microsoft pushed it as a sim, if it is a sim, and Microsoft pushes it that way. Because Microsoft's way of implementing steering wheel support is different than Sony's.
Yes.
And it's cheaper.
And
so
what's also funny is if you're doing a Game Pass, it would be more accessible than iRacing.
Yes. So like they would have a clear advantage right off the bat that they could exploit,
and you'd be across two things already.
Yeah.
Sony's stuck on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have both PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
I mean, you're setting yourself up for an easy win. You just can't trip at the final hurdle.
Yeah. Flight Simulator is celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Like, can we just discuss that fact?
It's wild. With a new update, which is scheduled to drop November, part of it is the Pelican from Halo. God bless you.
Pelican looked pretty cool.
40
years is insane to think about flight sim.
It's almost half a century.
Yeah. I remember when Flight Sim X was out, and that was like the big thing.
Yeah. Crazy.
The Pelican did look cool though. Like if you can go in like the cockpit and whatever, and that's gotta be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm curious to see.
And helicopters.
Yep, helicopters.
And I think my understanding was that there was a U.S. map update as well. I think that was in the extended showcase that we didn't really see.
Okay.
But they did updates to the United States map.
Nice. Overwatch 2. There's a new trailer. Confirmation of the game launching in early access on October 4th.
Yeah, so free
to play. New tank character. Yeah.
Junker Queen, yeah. Obviously, this was a Sunday thing, so we couldn't talk about it on Thursday or on last week. But free to play is the right move for something that you're taking so much of one to put it into two. You would have lost money immediately if you tried to make it a full cost and shot yourself straight in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
In doing it free to play, though, they did say that they're going to have a battle pass system. It is going to be free to play. They're still dropping all the content. They're doing seasons. I think their thing was to say seasons every 9 weeks. And they have a roadmap out so you can like see what they're planning.
Okay.
And I think like season 2 or season 1 or season 2 is supposed to add like 3 new heroes and new maps and keeping things fresh and whatever. There's battle passes. There's no more loot boxes, which I thought was interesting.
That is interesting.
So we'll see what they try to get away with. In terms of like the roadmap idea, there's a tweet from I think it was Blizzard maybe or the Overwatch account or something like that. It's about 4 images worth of a roadmap of this date, these things, this date, these things. Here's kind of what we're looking at. Typical roadmap, but in a new fashion for the quote reformed, not reformed Blizzard is Quick. Somebody tweeted it like at Quick Mike Ibarra and said, "Hey, this would be really good to like continue doing roadmaps for things because that's all we want is your guys' plan. And if something changes, just tell us. But like, stop hiding the all this weirdness and ambiguity." And he basically was like, I would prefer to do roadmaps across every franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, okay, that's good. Let's keep that. Like when Dragonflight comes out, I need a roadmap. Like, hey, your season for like the Mythic Plus season, this raid starts here. It's going to end here because the new season's coming at this time. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if like they have a hard time giving out realistic roadmaps because it seems to be like the general the previous way of developing a game is like you have all these crazy pie in the sky ideas, and then as you develop and you scale it down. So like I wonder if there's like a mindset issue.
There probably is, and they're also probably worried that it blows up in their face. For we say X, and then it clearly is not going to be like Y or Z.
Yeah, like Halo Infinite's probably a good example of that.
Halo Infinite needed to get out in front of itself way beforehand. Actually,
yeah, but they promised a bunch of things and then realized later on that like, oh, this is going to take more work than we thought. They keep having to delay shit.
And even then, I don't believe them. I don't know if any of us do. Oh, co-op can't work in the campaign. Co-op's in the game. You have it literally there. Just turn it on.
Yeah.
It's issues. You racistly named a shader. Is that in this document?
It is.
Okay. I'll wait for the full explanation of that. But like you racistly did that. You fixed it within minutes. So you can't tell me you can't just fix things when they need to. Anyway.
Who knows?
Also, Infinite made the mistake of showing themselves a year early.
Yeah.
When if anybody at their department had thought about it, there's no way they get away with showing that trailer a year early.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Next up
don't
was
even have the Forge yet.
Aura History Untold, which is a new history-focused strategy game.
So the understanding was it was people behind Civ 5. Like, people from that team or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you got the same vibes looking at the, like, little gameplay shot they showed. I almost looked at it like a city builder.
Yeah, there's a game that it reminded me of, but I can't think of the name of it.
It was a mix between Skylines immediately, City Skylines, as far as like what it reminded me of, and then a little bit of SimCity. And I was like, wait, I thought this was like a world thing. It looked like we were looking at such a small slice. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Pete Hines gave an ESO update, specifically the High Isle DLC will be coming June 21st to consoles, I believe, right? Was that the idea, consoles? Or is it out now already on PC?
It's out on PC. It'll be consoles on the 21st.
Yeah, June 21st.
I had to think. I was going to say next week, and I was like, wait, is that the right number? But yeah, it's the 21st. Do you have any reference for what that is?
That's the Bretons.
I have
it's
no
a
idea who they are,
species.
so.
It's one of the races, one of the prominent races in Elder Scrolls. It's like the area they come from.
Oh, okay. They like human looking or
they're yes,
or elvish.
I believe they are human with like a little bit of elf in them. So
so
they look human, but they like can do magic.
So instead of 75-25 elf, they're 75-25 human.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think
because I'm pretty sure that's majority of Elder. From my small understanding of Elder Scrolls, everything's on a scale of how much elf is in you, and then it just kind of flips to a different scale of how much are you a cat? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Or a lizard.
Yeah, it's like elf, human. Where are we on the slider? Oh, you're a cat. Okay, you're a lizard. Gotcha.
Just entirely different. You're not even playing on the same scale. All right.
Or you're a Viking.
That's true. Fus Roda.
Yeah. Keeping with Bethesda, next up was Fallout 76 is getting another major content update. It's the Pit. And that'll be coming out September because that's what everyone needed was Fallout 76 update.
Speaking of Game Pass, you can just play it from there if you really wanted more Fallout 76.
Yeah, the majority of this is coming to Game Pass. There's a few exceptions to that, but I think
the majority of this is though.
Yeah. Hot Wheels coming to Forza Horizon 5. What else was there? July 19th.
Yes, July 19th. I think currently in Forza Horizon 5 or upcoming soon, they're doing a seasonal event leading up to the DLC coming out where you can start to collect Hot Wheels cars early. That being said, watching that trailer looked like fun.
Yeah, they look a lot of fun.
I want to do a loop-de-loop without just flipping my car off a rock on accident in the mountains in Mexico.
I'd just be ejecting myself off track all the time.
Did it also look like that? Obviously, they were in Mexico, which is where 5 is. But like the world that they were driving around in, I didn't recognize the mountains.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Is it Mexico, but Mexico adjacent? So it's another spot on the map, technically?
I believe so, because that's what it kind of sounded like when we were watching it downstairs, was that it was a new area.
Yeah. Still Mexico, but we went slightly more into the mountains type of thing.
Yeah. And then there was Arc 2.
Ah, yes. The family edition.
Exactly. There was a trailer with Vin Diesel grunting. Should be out in sometime in 2023.
I mean, literally, that's not even a joke. That's the best part. The entire part of that trailer was, hey, here's a dinosaur, and Vin grunts.
Yep.
That's it.
I don't know what to even think about that game at this point.
I'm curious if ARC people give a shit.
Yeah, I feel like the answer is going to be no, because it doesn't seem to be anything like ARC was.
Yeah.
Scorn. Saw Scorn again.
Man, it's gross.
The title was originally unveiled in 2014.
That's when it was.
And it's coming to Xbox and PC on October 21st.
I mean, it's a Halloween game.
Yeah.
A lot of.
Do you think it's going to make it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll make it to like a confused fanfare.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Where it'll come out and a lot of people will be like, I don't know, what is this?
Yeah. What is this? Why do we have this?
Who wants this? Who's this for?
Next up was Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, which is an action RPG, which was initially revealed earlier this year. It's coming out in early 2023.
I'm intrigued. I need to see more of just than the alpha like combat they showed.
It kind of gave me like Microsoft version of Forspoken vibes.
Kind of, yeah, I could see that. But like the combat looked interesting, but clearly not fleshed out. Like it looked like early Arkham combat, where you were just kind of like slow and everybody took their turn hitting you type of thing, and
and you're like
that's fine.
You're like stringing combos together, but there's those like weird pauses in between every move.
Yeah. So it was like there's a combat rig here, and this is clearly an alpha build of it. So if it gets fleshed out and it's more fluid and everything, then I'd be very interested to see it. The idea of having the what is it, like a pet fox? I think
that's kind of what it looked like.
Fox-looking thing,
probably some sort of fox mystical creature.
Yeah, because that was teleporting behind people and like wrapping them up and doing that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of in. You got a hatchet in one hand, a flintlock pistol in the other. You're setting yourself up with a potentially very interesting combat scenario.
I think it looks like an intriguing universe.
Yeah, you're setting yourself up with an interesting like combat system.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a range, you have doing the whole thing, melee range, okay. But then you see the combat and you're like, all right, the world looks all right, but the combat's just weird. Like you said, staggered and just. But I want to see more. I want to see when it actually gets closer to coming out. That one I don't think comes out in 12 months. I know they said everything comes out in 12 months. I don't know how that comes out based on the state we saw it in.
Well, in their minds, everything's coming out in 12 months. That doesn't mean it won't be delayed outside of the 12-month window.
That's true.
Next up is Minecraft Legends, an action strategy game set in the Minecraft universe. I don't know what to make or feel about this game at the moment, but they didn't really show a lot of it. Like, they showed you gameplay, but they didn't really give you any sort of reference for that gameplay.
They showed you gameplay that didn't look entirely different than Dungeons. Like, still the top-down, run around the map, blow things up. The graphics were visually different, and then you had base building. So they did focus on the idea that you could still, build a fort or whatever. But the combat and the movement and everything was very dungeon-esque, and it's like, all right, cool, there's another portal, and it's spawning enemies, and you need to unite the overworld to fight the netherworld, whatever.
Yep.
What? Like, somebody will play it.
For sure. I'm sure we'll see more of it as well, but it's just, as of right now, I'm very, skeptical. I'm just like, I don't know.
I'm very much like, all right, maybe I'll watch somebody play it for the 2 hours it'll take to beat it. Like, I'll watch Ray's stream of it or something, but I'm 100% just not playing it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd end up playing it
it's not
as
for
of right
us.
now, but just whatever it is. Lightyear Frontier, a new space farming simulator.
Now I need to see more about this.
Spring.
Because it's a space farming simulator. You're in mechs. You build a little town, you build some stuff, you farm, you do the whole thing. It's like, all right, yeah, this checks like Matt and I's boxes.
Yeah.
And there's like an adventure so you can go do combat and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And it's co-op.
and it's co-op. So what does this all look like when the actual gameplay is happening? Because the only time you see more than one person or anything is when they're just like at the farm, kind of doing chores. But they don't, other than showing you the door of this mysterious puzzle, they don't show you anything. So what does that all mean? And I guess obviously what does it mean is the point of figuring out in the game, but how do you interact with it? Is it a combat thing? Is it whatever? But I'm intrigued. Definitely.
I feel the same way. Gunfire Reborn is coming, it's launching on PC and Xbox on 2022. It's in early access right now. Is that the deal?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
We've both played it.
Yep.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. If it was on Game Pass, it would be great.
Solid snag. Good quick time burner.
Yeah. It's a low barrier to entry. Like, you don't have to like be super invested in it, so you can jump in for 20 minutes, jump out.
No, and I do think it has a low entry but a high ceiling.
Yeah, for sure. The Last Case of Benedict Fox, side-scrolling action title, spring 2023.
Yeah,
it's a game.
I mean, it looked interesting.
Yeah, it looks fine. It's just, I mean, it's not my normal jam.
No.
I think it definitely looks like one of those games where it might end up with like some sort of like cult following type thing.
True. Yeah, I can see that.
As Dusk Falls, interactive drama in video game form, supports up to 8 players, and it's going to launch July 19th. Don't really care about it.
I have no. I saw it and I was just kind of like, all right, I got sure. Yeah. Somebody will play it and like it. Good for them.
Next up was Naraka Blade Point Battle Royale, which is coming to Game Pass June 23rd, which I had never seen. Nate's familiar with it.
I mean, he says I'm familiar with it. I'm aware it exists.
That's more than I got.
All right.
I think it's a cool concept, but
yeah. I know a couple people in the old former guild used to play.
Oh, one of the Albatross guilds.
One of. I should, if I ever went to BlizzCon, I should just like wear a necklace with a bunch of dead albatrosses on it for every guild I've killed.
Yeah,
like just enamel pins of albatrosses,
or just make a pin of like the guild name with like an X through it or something, and just start like.
Oh, and just wear it like a sash.
Yeah, a sash or like I don't know. That'd be cool if there was a way to like display it like World War II, like planes you shot down or something.
It'd be pretty funny. This is completely off topic, but if you got a custom shirt made that it was similar to the Yankees World Series shirts where it has the years all on the back, and instead it just has the names with red X's through it, and then it says at the end, "Your guild?" ?
Who's next? You decide.
Yeah. Epic dead albatrosses of history.
Reminds me of in Initial D. There's a point where there's a race team who goes around and defeats other race teams, and when they do that, they take their sticker and they cut it in half. And stick it upside down on the wings of their cars.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
kind of like it.
Yeah, it's very Japanese.
Yo, for sure. but it would be just very entertaining. Yeah, just to have like it written and then just a red X. Yeah. It's just a list of guilds that have died under my watch or something like that.
The infamous dead albatross. Obsidian's up next with Pentiment. Which was a new game that they revealed. It's a medieval themed mystery game, and it should be launching in November. Looked interesting. After that, it was Grounded, which is going to get a full launch later this year. I think everyone's familiar with what Grounded is at this point.
You should be. You get Honey, I Shrunk the Kids into a yard.
I can imagine a full release. Like I played it when it first came out.
Same. and I've played it once since.
If they've been like adding to it and refining it, I bet it's probably pretty good now. Because it had a cool concept. Well, like a cool environment. The concept wasn't anything revolutionary, but
no, but it is. God, did you ever come across fighting one of the spiders?
No,
dude, I accidentally ran into a cave with one of them. Whole lot of noped right out of that.
I can imagine. I would as well.
I mean, I got murdered multiple times because the damn thing just aggro hunted me.
Mm-hmm.
Even after I died, it was just like, all right, I didn't respawn far enough away.
Yeah.
Or I want to get my stuff back, and it's just camping my corpse. Fucking spiders.
There's some sort of stealth action game coming called Ereban Shadow Legacy. I don't remember that one.
You want to murder robots?
Oh, that one. Okay.
That's that one.
Should be launching later. Launch next year. Should be launching next year. Diablo 4 had a quick little snippet.
It looks pretty.
Gameplay.
Announced the Necromancer.
Should be out next year as well.
Yep.
Diablo 4, I think at this point people are just like, hey, give us the game when it's done, please.
Yep, that's basically where we're at. It looks pretty. It looks like a new Diablo should.
Open world,
which will be interesting. Curious to see how that all kind of plays out and what they do for actual end game stuff, because they did say that.
We might as well throw it in now, but there was a thing about that game. What was it? Max level is 100, and the main campaign or story, whatever, is supposedly about 35 hours. I don't know how it stacks up with anything else.
For Diablo?
Yeah.
Interesting. That seems long.
So I don't know.
That seems long. I wonder if that... I wonder what that means. If it's 35 hours for... I don't know. We'll have to see. Because normally or at least in D3, I'm going to reference D3 specifically. So if you played D3s, or if you played Diablos before that and you want to come after me, shut up. D3, you went through on normal, right? And you beat the entire campaign, but then your thing was to go back and do it again on the next difficulty. So it wasn't 35 hours. It's like 12 or something. But now because of the way they're doing it, it might be 35 to like get to 100 and get to the end game type of thing, or it might be 35 because of how much there is. Like time to beat collectible
I didn't put
thing.
any details in because I didn't think it would warrant needing details.
I mean, it really doesn't, because
it was just a tweet essentially from, I think, the game director.
That's what I mean. Like, and it could be from them too. But we've also heard games that have said they take 500 hours and then they backpedal immediately. They're like, oh no, it actually takes only like 10 hours.
Yeah,
but it's 35 if you wanted to like get everything in the game type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, if it takes me 35 hours to hit 100, that's different.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. We will see. Sea of Thieves, Season 7. New content. July 21st.
Be a ship captain now. Have like a permanent ship.
You couldn't have a permanent ship before?
That's like the majority of what they talked about. And they had a cool song.
I have never played Sea of Thieves.
I played it once when I first got Game Pass early on. And I didn't know what the hell was going on.
All right, that's fair. Ravenlock, a new action-adventure title, 2023. Cocoon is a new game from the people that made Limbo and Inside. Top-down puzzle adventure. Next year as well.
So that one looked interesting. I don't know if you saw it.
I did. I was intrigued. It looked interesting. I don't know. I couldn't really make sense of... all the movement mechanics. Like there was things going on there that I'm sure once you start playing it would iron themselves out. But like,
yeah, it had a little bit of Monument Valley vibes to me, a little bit of kind of Journey-esque, not like the openness of Journey, obviously, but that same like simple art style, but potentially like, oh, the solution to the puzzle is simple. When you actually, like, once you see it, you'll be like, oh, how did I not get that?
Mm-hmm.
But kind of the jumping between worlds and everything, it definitely looked like something I would try.
Okay. probably will have the opportunity because I'm sure it'll be on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty was announced or shown. I don't know. Revealed, I guess, is a good way of putting it. Should be out in 2023. Not much was shown on it. Phil Spencer let everyone know that Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal were coming to Xbox and PC on October 21st as a part of Game Pass. And then we were visited by Kojima and warned.
That's a good way to put it. We were warned.
We were threatened by Kojima that he has a new game that he's always wanted to make because we haven't heard that one a million times.
And it's something you've never seen before.
A
concept that would literally blow your mind right now.
We thought we were safe, but he's bringing his blight to Xbox now. So, yeah.
I want him to go full villain with a reveal where he's like, if I honestly told you this whole plan, your brain would explode. You don't understand how superior and how absolutely rigid my brain is. You smooth brain simpletons.
I'd be like, okay, Kojima, whatever you say.
Well, I mean, if we're getting close to it not being far off anyway from what he normally says.
Yeah. The only thing that could be like worse for me, I'm trying to think of like worst case scenario, is if Kojima partnered with Gabe Newell and they got together and they decided to make a game
Portal
that
3.
was based on some new tech that like Gabe wanted to do.
Yeah, and it's
some human fucking brain computer interface.
And it's called Portal 3.
Yeah, and it's just something.
Because they've invented a way for you to create portals on your wall.
Silent Portal Hill.
I was thinking to give Kojima Mario. Kojima with Nintendo, but give him Mario to do like a Super Mario Odyssey style game.
I don't even know. This is all nightmare fuel. And finally, they finished it off with, of course, Starfield. Todd Howard, had to say some shit.
What?
And then,
Tycoon Todd Howard.
Yeah, saw some gameplay, some areas, character creation, skill trees, crafting system. I think the skill trees and crafting systems made their appearance in the extended showcase. No solid launch date, but just 2023.
Yep. Any thoughts?
I'm looking forward to Starfield generally. After watching it, I was internally shocked by how unmoved in any direction I was by what I saw. I was not overwhelmed. I was not underwhelmed. I was not surprised. I just was like, I guess that's what a Bethesda space game would look like.
When I watched it, because I think out of the three of us being you, me, and Dewey, I was the one that watched it live.
Yeah.
And as I was watching it, I went, "Yep, Bethesda in space." That's exactly what it is. If anybody's played Bethesda games over the last 5 years or over the last 10 years, and I say, "Hey, Bethesda in space," you go, "Okay, yeah, I know what that means."
That being said, it does have. I think I've had a couple people. Well, I've had a few people disagree, but I think it has strong resemblances to No Man's Sky.
Yes, I think that's true. And anybody that tells you that it doesn't hasn't ever played or even looked at No Man's Sky, and I assume those people probably only play Call of Duty and would argue with you that they're not all the same.
Just that, like, space combat looked near identical. The mining aspect of it was almost identical. Like, it was just a lot that looked similar.
And there's a lot of things that you can't do much differently.
Yeah.
Like, now that No Man's Sky has been out for 7 years, they've kind of figured it out.
Yeah, which is true. So
you're kind of screwed.
I mean, I don't know
not get compared.
if, like, being I don't want to say pessimistic, but we're realists. Sorry, we know what Bethesda is. It's a known quantity.
Especially now.
If they took what No Man's Sky is currently,
Yep,
and then slapped an okay Bethesda story on it, I'll take it at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
now I would be okay with that had they also not put it in the creation engine.
yeah, which that was a whole nother conversation, actually. I'm glad you brought that up, because there does seem to be a little bit of a confusion on what this creation engine 2 is, because I think we were right.
Hold on. To do what I do at work, let me pull up a shocked Pikachu image real quick.
We had hoped that it was a new engine from the ground up.
We had hoped, but we knew it wasn't.
We had expected it to be essentially the framework of Creation Engine 1 with visuals slapped on the top.
Yeah, they literally took Frank, who, as from our previous story, is plugged into the creation engine.
Yeah.
Literally his brain is stuck to it. He can't die because he's powering it.
Yep.
And then they wrote 2 on his chest.
Yeah.
In permanent red marker.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what it seems like. It looks like it's just, their normal creation engine with
lipstick.
Yeah.
It's lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
Which also the other issue I think they had is it's a space game, sure, but like obviously No Man's Sky is bright and colorful in certain instances. They, in their initial Starfield implementation of showing it not at the extended thing where they show off New Atlantis and kind of like a modern society vibe, or I guess technically the meme that is society today if blah 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 didn't exist or whatever, and it's always that super futuristic looking city, which is what they kind of picture New Atlantis is as their biggest city they've ever built. But the one they showed Sunday at the Xbox Showcase had Kurosawa vibes because the whole thing was just in grayscale.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, there was no color at all. And the other thing I noticed pretty quickly after like the creation engine conversation started popping up, and I kind of realized, I'm like, if it genuinely was a new engine, developers cannot fucking help themselves if they have a new engine. They have to tell you about it.
Right.
And they said nothing about it.
Yeah, we have never come across a dev that has been going on to working on a new engine and not jerked it off for 5 minutes during a reveal of their first game on it.
Yeah.
Thanks to this engine, we've been able to leverage yada, 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 yada. Thanks to the Snowdrop engine, we can do dynamic winter weather in New York City. Thanks to the whatever Kojima's engine was from Guerrilla.
Yeah, the Decima or Decima
Yeah,
engine.
the Decima engine. Thanks to the Decima engine, we purposely scoured all over the land to find the one that we wanted to get this game to work. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Creation Engine 2. Don't worry about it. Which, you know what the funny thing is? And this goes back to what we said a year ago at this point, I think, when they announced that they were going to do this. Elder Scrolls is going to run on it.
Everything.
Fallout 2 or 6?
Whatever.
5.
Whatever.
2, 6, 5. Yeah, numbers. They're all going to run on Creation Engine 2. Until Microsoft breaks and kills Frank. So they have to switch engines. They're going to stick with it. For better or worse.
I'm wondering.
Mostly worse.
I'm wondering if they silently migrate to like Unreal or something like that.
I 100% expect them to migrate to Unreal and not talk about it until they load up the game for the first time and somebody sees the Unreal splash screen and goes, "Oh, no fucking way."
I think what's going to happen is they're going to silently switch to Unreal for Elder Scrolls 6, and we're not going to know until the first time they show the game, and we're all like, holy fuck, this looks good.
I got a better option. I have a more Bethesda option. They're going to switch to Unreal for Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Not Elder Scrolls. They're going to murder Elder Scrolls by keeping it on Creation Engine. And then they're going to do the switch for Fallout. And everybody's going to be like, why did you not do this for Elder Scrolls? And it's going to be the conversation forever until they re-release Elder Scrolls on the toaster. and they put it on Unreal. They say, don't worry, we're changing all the re-releases from here on out to be on Unreal.
So that means we have to re-release everything inside Unreal Engine.
Yeah. And they'll re-release all of it. Starfield's re-release, the Starfielder. Boom.
Wow. All right, next up was the PC Gaming Show. I don't know if we want to actually like go through all of this.
Pull out some highlights, just if you see something that seems interesting.
I'll rip through the list. How about that? Spellforce, Conquest of EO.
Yep.
Mythforce, The Constructors, Crossfire Legion, Citizen Sleeper, Solstice, Rotwood, Tactical Breach, Wizards. That sounds interesting.
Now, Tactical Breach, was that Tactical Breach : Wizards?
No, just Tactical Breach
okay.
Wizards.
Wait, Tactical Breach Wizards?
Yes.
Oh. Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. The Invincible, Endless Dungeon, Chivalry 2.
Wait, Endless Dungeon?
Yeah.
That's already okay.
It says TBA, and it's Amplitude Studios.
I thought that was already a thing. Unless maybe they're doing something different.
Chivalry 2, Tunisian Invasion Update.
Hell yeah.
Deceive Inc., The Antlers, Potion Craft, Super Animal Royale Season 4, Nitro Kid, Meho Kenichi, don't know what that is, Killing Floor 2, Tidal Terror, Arma 4.
They're making an Arma 4?
Yeah, I guess so. Decarbonation, I Am Future, Great Houses of Caldera, Jurassic World Evolution 2, Dominion Biosyn, System Shock, there's one.
Yeah, where's that game?
Apparently there. Falling Frontier, Super People, Immortality, Demon School, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2, Agent 64, Spies Never Die, Deliver Us Mars. Jeez, this goes on and on and on and on and on. Oh yeah, what I found interesting, this is just because it's Half-Life Alyx, but they had a trailer for a mod. So it was Half-Life Alyx Levitation mod. And then Guerrilla Collective had 3 different showcases, 3 different parts to their showcase.
For what?
I don't know, bro. That's all indie titles. And it's another 40 games, so I'm not going to go through all these. I'm not going to go through any of them because it looks like there's a lot of repeats.
All right, well, if you want to, Google it.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly,
just reading through it, I recognize a lot of these titles. Wholesome Games Direct, which we don't really care about. Future Game Show, which there's a Brewmaster game. That's kind of interesting. F1 Manager 2022. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot to check out if you're interested. All right, and there was more, actually. Let me, if I can pull up the other thing. Ugh, too much this week. There was also a Final Fantasy VII broadcast of some kind, but I'm going to be honest with you. Don't really have any interest in it. And when I tried to pull it up to make sense of all the games, I was like, I don't fucking get any of this. There was something about Ever Crisis, Rebirth, Crisis Core Reunion, Remake, Intergrade. And then there was the Capcom thing, not the Capcom thing, the Dragon's Dogma 2, which we talked about, which they announced during the 10 years of Dragon Dogma digital event. And that was...
They said that the second part of Final Fantasy, of the 7 remake, is Rebirth, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that is coming next winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is
part 2 of a game they've been remaking. That everybody initially thought they were getting the whole thing of 3 years ago.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. And while they're working on that, they also have all these other, I think, remasters or other versions.
Some mobile ones getting thrown in there. Crisis Core coming back, whatever. It's, again, not anything that I pay like drastic attention to.
I feel like we're doing the pendulum swing thing. So we got rid of E3 because a lot of these developers and publishers and companies wanted their own limelight.
Yes.
Their own news cycle.
Yes.
And now they're all doing their own thing and they're all fucking stepping on each other.
Yes.
And so I feel like in a couple of years we're going to swing back to like probably a Jeff Keighley run event, but another E3 style event where everyone's scheduled out.
I think for a lot of these, in regards to like the things we just went through, there's like Guerrilla Collective, Future Game Show, and Capcom all just kind of like were the normal Tuesday run where they would just barf and do things. But like the Final Fantasy VII one is weird only because Square didn't have one. Which that would have been covered underneath that along with everything else that Square was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But Square also is kind of like in a, what are you doing right now other than Nier and Final Fantasy because you lost Crystal. So
yeah, you just sold off half of your assets.
So there's it's just a lot of randomness that doesn't need to all. And obviously Xbox doing an extended showcase doesn't help the matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move right through the rest of this, huh? Number 2, Kojima Productions has confirmed that it'll continue working with PlayStation following the announcement of its Xbox partnership. Quote, please be assured that we continue to have a very good partnership with PlayStation as well. And
these fanboys, man. Kind of nuts.
Listen, man, if Kojima shows up at Nintendo next year and he has to announce that he's going to be okay with Xbox still finishing and PlayStation, they're going to lose it.
He's going to come on screen and be like, I'm a whore. I have so many games I want to get out.
Using the Joy-Cons, I have come up with a way
to melt your brain.
Something that even Nintendo, the creators of the technology, haven't thought of.
Has South Park done a Kojima episode yet?
No, but God, it's ripe for it.
I was just thinking of, for whatever reason, I like put together the episode where they get the unicycle things that they have to fucking stick the thing up their butt.
Oh, and, like, yeah, the self-propelled vehicles.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, I was like, I just pictured Kojima in like the South Park world explaining his new game using the Joy-Cons, and you have to stick the Joy-Cons up your butt. Like, I don't know. I've just like put together a South Park episode in my brain. Anyways, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick,
always a great name,
agrees with PlayStation's stance on not releasing brand new AAA products into a subscription service on the day they're released. Besides for the economics behind it, which you can assume what he means, like, you won't make enough money, blah, blah, blah. Zelnick isn't convinced that subscription services will appeal beyond a certain subset of gamers. A certain subset of gamers.
You can do both. I don't want to like blow your mind, Strauss, because I know you're the money man in Red Dead, which is hysterical that you're the CEO. It's still one of my favorite connections I've ever figured out.
The money man. What? Yeah, I mean, I think I think you're spot on, because like Take-Two and like Rockstar, for example, like you would never put their stuff on a subscription service.
You don't need to for them.
No.
They're gods in their own right.
Exactly.
You don't need to put Naughty Dog on there. You do need to put Sony Bend on there.
Oh.
You do. I'm not wrong.
Gotcha.
You don't need to put Santa Monica on there. You do need to put San Diego on there, which puts the show on there.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need to put like God of War and Naughty Dog. You just
want the show on a subscription service.
It is. It's on Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
So, fuck you.
All right, calm down. Is it on PC yet?
And no, I wouldn't. Here's the kick with that one, right?
Is it on PC yet?
I could play it on the cloud gaming on here.
Oh.
Which means it would still technically be on Xbox. But here's the kick in that scenario. I wouldn't play it on the subscription service. I would buy it. Because I play it all year, so
it's worthwhile.
My value is not the same.
Yeah. Unless it's a service that you're going to subscribe to year-round.
Right, which is almost none of them.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to Game Pass year-round. When I went back to do Game Pass for Sniper Elite for us, I had the offer of $1 for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
I think for Ultimate, too. And I was like, yep, gimme.
That's fair.
So, again, I have an entire library for $1.
We got to go back to Sniper Elite.
Yeah, it was a weird week. We obviously couldn't do it over the weekend because Sunday would have been the day to do it, but you were busy. And then during the week, there was just not going to really be a good time to line up. But hopefully this weekend. And do you have Monday off? I have Monday off.
I do not. I don't think.
I think the holidays then, or it's observed that day, so that's why I wasn't sure. Juneteenth.
Yeah, we didn't get it off.
I was like, because otherwise we could have done it then. All right, number 4, Microsoft and the Communications Workers of America announced a labor neutrality agreement that would go into effect 60 days after the closure of the Xbox maker's pending acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The CWA president said, quote, "This agreement provides a pathway for Activision Blizzard workers to exercise their democratic rights to organize and collectively bargain after the close of the Microsoft acquisition and establishes a high road framework for employers in the games industry," end quote. That's a lot of legal words that Nate's brain hurts now. The deal applies only to Activision Blizzard employees and consists of these 5 provisions. Provision 1. Microsoft will take a neutral approach when employees covered by the agreement expressed interest in joining a union. Provision 2. Covered employees will be able to easily exercise their right to communicate with other employees and union representatives about union membership in a way that encourages information sharing and avoids business disruptions. Provision 3. Employees will have access to an innovative technology-supported and streamlined process for choosing whether to join the union. Provision 4, employees can maintain confidentiality and privacy of that choice if they wish. And Provision 5, if a disagreement arises between CWA and Microsoft under the agreement, the two organizations will work together promptly to reach an agreement and will turn to an expedited arbitration process if they cannot. A lot of union shit.
Getting ahead of it, though. I appreciate that.
They have to. Because, do we have... We don't have it. Because I don't know if you saw, but Activision Blizzard did did like a internal investigation and determined that
It's
Activision... Is it?
Yeah.
Fuck. I skimmed. All right, never mind, I'll wait.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll get to it real quick. Number 5, Wargaming is opening 2 new offices in Belgrade, Serbia, and Warsaw, Poland. The restructuring follows the company's withdrawal from Russia and Belarus in response to the war in Ukraine. Wargaming Belgrade is focusing on both development and publishing across World of Tanks and World of Warships franchises. Wargaming Warsaw, meanwhile, will focus on just publishing with a small team to start with. So all these Ukrainian studios are picking up the pieces.
Good.
Yeah. That's what we'd like to see.
Progress. If this war would end and Russia would hurry up and tuck their tails, it'd be great.
That'd be nice. That would be nice. Lots of recommitments from countries with...
I think U.S. recommitted
$650 million.
Like that.
And then UK as well, I believe.
Yeah. Number 6, 343 Industries had to put a Halo Infinite cosmetic marking Juneteenth, the U.S. holiday celebrating the freeing of slaves, because they accidentally named it after an ape. Accidentally in quotes. The nameplate was originally launched with the name Bonobo, but was later renamed to Freedom after a Reddit user called it out.
Okay, bonobo is a species of ape.
Yep.
By the way.
343 Industries senior community manager gave a little bit of an explanation saying, quote, "While the original name refers to an internal tool set, it was not intended to be applied to this content, and we recognize the harm it may have caused. The palette was incorrectly named, and we immediately renamed it via an update," end quote. I have 2 issues with that. One, the simple issue is, I mean, this is from going through the r/Halo subreddit on this thread of this thing of like, oh, you can't make these changes because this, you can't do that change because this issue, you can't do custom playlists or whatever, you can't. Oh, but no, you can make a UI change immediately. Okay, so you just don't want to. There's a difference. And then the actual issue, why is that an internal name?
Apparently, so from what I read, apparently it's a tool set that dates back to Bungie, like when Bungie was owned by Microsoft before the split, and they're still using it, and it's some sort of tool set for formatting strings.
Which, still, how does it end up here?
Yeah, it's
because
fishy.
because especially if it's a tool for that,
Mm-hmm.
why the fuck is it there?
Especially given what we know from them naming previous things.
I don't remember what season it was or whatever, but the battle pass that's attached to Infinite, or that was attached, whichever season it was, had an internal name leak that was called Moochers of Reach.
Mm-hmm.
So just, again, pissing on the community.
Yep. So, yeah, there you go.
It's one of those where it's, like, accidental, I doubt, but you should find whoever did it and probably can them.
Yeah, I mean, Bungie, or not Bungie, 343. Well, actually, you know what?
There's no way that should have gotten pushed to live.
I keep fucking the two up because I think they have the same problem, which would make sense because they were at one point the same company. 343 Industries and Bungie, I believe, have like a cultural issue, like kind of not nearly as bad as like maybe Activision Blizzard, but there's clearly like some sort of like, work culture thing going on that they need to sort out.
And even then, going to like, how did that get pushed to live?
I know
that should have gone through multiple reviews as you normally would to do that push.
Yeah.
How does that make it?
How do you miss the nameplate? Like you miss the name of it.
Yeah. Hey, we have some stuff coming up that's going to be rolling out for this weekend for like the holiday or whatever. Is everything ready to go? Cool. Show me it. Why does that say that?
That was the joke I kept seeing was like, well, this just proves that nothing gets QA'd, which would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Like that would have, if that came across my screen, the immediate is, no, and we're now going to go find somebody and have a conversation because why the hell would that be named that?
Yeah. Number 7, Activision Blizzard released a summary of an internal review that found no evidence in the company's senior executives released a summary of an internal review that found no evidence that the company's senior executives looked the other way on harassment claims. So, Activision Blizzard investigated Activision Blizzard and found that Activision Blizzard did nothing wrong. Nice.
Yeah, what a joke.
What a joke. Like,
the Nazis reviewed the Nazis and determined they committed no war crimes.
I don't even know, like, how do you get to this point? Who thought it was a good idea to do an internal review and then release the findings of the internal review?
I was going to say, it's a good idea to do the internal review because you should do it anyway now with everything coming out. And if your idea is, it should be an internal review but being conducted on behalf of Microsoft type of thing. Like,
yeah.
Hey, we need you to do an internal review and figure this out. And then what you don't do is go,
it's fine.
Everything's fine. We checked it. Because that's how you get Bonobo out there.
Everything's fine here. How are you?
Yeah. It's very much I don't know if you know the meme where it's President Obama putting the medal around President Obama's neck.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very much that of, yes, Activision Blizzard rewarded Activision Blizzard with great reviews.
Yeah. Classic.
Idiots. Number 8, Epic Games has announced a new cross-play tool that'll let developers connect their games and communities across different storefronts and platforms. With this tool, developers can enable cross-play across 2 services, let players roll their friends lists across multiple platforms into one single list, as well as offer search tools and game invites across the 2 launchers. The tool currently works between the Epic Games Store and Steam, but console and mobile functionality is also in the works. So hey, we're all here for crossplay, as long as PlayStation turns it on. You fucking hear me, Sony? Do you get it? We will play nice with everybody if you guys would stop being dickheads.
That's a pretty neat idea there, though. That Epic came up with a tool set to kind of integrate Steam.
Oh, I just like that they're like, hey, did you want a tool set that makes this easy? You press a button, you get it.
Yeah. Valve's probably like, shit.
Not even them. Like, how many other engines where it's like, hey, did you want to develop with Unreal? Oh, do you want to have your game on multiple platforms? Good. I can make it easy. Press this button. What's this button do? Oh, it makes your game available on all the platforms really easily. Boop. Does it double my money? It could quadruple it if you wanted to.
They're doing good things, as far as we know.
Yeah. What are you hiding?
Exactly. Number 9, patents for Valve's rumored standalone headset codename Deckard, which 100% has to be a Blade Runner reference.
Oh, I was going to go with Deckard Cain from Diablo. The
Maybe.
Lord of Belial. No, it's 100% a Blade Runner reference. Actually, it could be a Altered Carbon one, couldn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember that guy's name.
I think you're right with Blade Runner, though. I'm going to look up the guy from Altered Carbon.
Anyways, the patents for the headset have found their way online. The patents are surprisingly detailed, specifically around the head strap and how exactly users can tighten and loosen it for optimum fit.
Kovacs. Takashi. Why am I? I was not even close. Why am I an idiot?
These patents, combined with data miners finding Deckard-coded dev tools in a beta build of SteamVR, suggest that the Valve is rather far along in development of the new headset.
I'll be interested.
The patents are, the design is quite interesting. It's kind of got like this like block. Actually, what it reminds me of, which I've been watching more of recently, is paintball. Like the new paintball masks have like a almost like a hard plastic piece that sits on the back of your head with like adjustment knobs on it, and that's kind of what it has. And I think the idea behind it is there's multiple knobs, so you can control multiple different places to tighten it. But I also think that there's probably weight in that to counterbalance.
You should look at the HoloLens too.
Oh, probably use the same concept.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Because it's adjustable as like having the one thing, and it's just a single unit. Like it's wireless. You can walk around with it, and it is a like counterbalance to the head thing.
Yeah.
But
that was the other thing is there's like I noticed on the patent designs is the way that they have cables running and where they have them running to. I think that might be some sort of like wireless unit as well.
Yeah, because for the HoloLens, like when you're plugged in and you load up what you're doing, and you have the connection, whatever, you can disconnect and walk around and do the whole thing. But the what was I gonna say? The everything is like adjustable or whatever, but you're also kind of running less of you're in VR, but you're kind of also with an AR, like it has the sunglass part kind of below it, so it's not a true like all consuming headset.
Yeah.
So you can get away with it. It's not as heavy as the other ones are.
Yeah. I don't know why more companies haven't done the whole counterbalancing thing. I think people accidentally discovered it with the Vive when HTC came out with the wireless
with the
unit, because
like puck adapter or whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's got the two things on it. It's like a giant thing you stick on the back of the head. Because when people started using it, they realized, it's a fucking counterweight for the headset, so it takes all the pressure off your nose.
It's a mix of taking all the pressure off, and depending on how the person was, they would end up having a slight head tilt as they would be looking down instead of looking. So like your posture got screwed.
Yeah,
because if you didn't have this is the joke of like VR is a workout. Well, you can have a workout, or you can just strain the hell out of your neck because you're looking not where you should be.
Yeah, and you have no frame of reference of how.
It looks straight to you, so you just go with it.
Exactly. You don't know that you're not looking straight.
Yeah, you don't realize that you're literally a pretzel.
Yep.
Anyway, let's go for some questionable things we didn't write full paragraphs on. Diablo Immortal gets over $24 million in spending within 2 weeks after launch.
Please stop.
Good luck. Number 2, according to a new report from the UNI Global Union, 79% of games industry workers support unionization. Sounds about right. Number 3, Sensor Tower released a new report that says to date, Netflix's mobile game offerings have seen 13 million downloads globally, which is another, if you gave them $1 each, that's still another 11 million away from what Immortal made. Xbox CFO Tim Stewart reportedly said supply chain issues that have been affecting the games market will likely continue throughout the year. As Nate said before, suck it, anybody that told him the chip shortage was ending.
You know what's getting cheaper, though?
You heard what I said.
Graphics cards.
Yeah, but then there's a 40 series that's supposedly coming and supposedly won't have issues. Haha, good jokes. Number 5, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl has been pushed to 2023. Understandably so. It is a Ukraine developer.
Yep.
Who half of them, I believe, are now serving in the army. Kind of like a weirdly chilling video.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I'm the community manager. I need to go shoot somebody.
Yeah, they're all wearing like plate armor and carrying around AR-15s or AKs or whatever they're using.
But I mean, hey, power to them.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. Number 6, the UK Competition and Markets Authority, or CMA, and that is not Country Music Awards, announced that it intends to investigate Apple and Google for their influence on the mobile market. It alleges that the tech firms hold a monopoly over mobile browsing and that the iPhone maker has restrictions over cloud gaming on its platform. Okay, cool. The UK doesn't understand how...
Water is wet.
That not only is water wet, but they also don't understand how browsing works.
Browse all the things.
Have you heard of, I don't know, these other 75 browsers?
Yeah.
That's got to be like a really weird way of defining something. Like, when they just say browsing, do they mean like just surfing the internet on mobile phones? So Android and therefore iPhone are the two massive ones, no matter how you do it on them.
I mean, it could be like what the EU did to Microsoft with Internet Explorer, where like Windows and EU, they have to offer you, it offers you multiple browsers as an option when you load up Windows for the first time.
Yeah, maybe you can, like Safari being built in or Chrome being built in, I guess.
Yeah.
That being said, RIP to Internet Explorer.
Yeah, true.
Officially dead.
True. Apparently, like there was still a shit ton of people in like Japan and a couple other countries that are still using it.
I mean, it sounds about right. It's basically baked into the system until like 11. It's no longer baked in, but it's still in 10. Like you can load up Internet Explorer unless you've actually somehow managed to kill it.
Just seems bizarre because like it still defaults to Edge in 10, doesn't it?
It does now. It defaults to it, but it's still there.
Yeah,
because they had an issue with their design of Windows where IE was being leveraged, like internally in it.
Yeah, like so. I've run into it at work before because I try to automate things, and Windows constantly wants to use Internet Explorer when you want to use like a browser, essentially. I don't know why. It's a weird thing, but whatever.
You can force it to do other things, but I'm not going to teach you IT things for a company that I don't do IT for.
It's fine. If I want to figure it out, I could, but it's not. There's no reason to. So
yeah. It's always like, oh yeah, hey, do you know how to do so and so? And I'm like, yeah, I know how to do it. All right, so how do you do it? I'm like, I'm not your company's IT department. Sorry, I'm not telling you how to do that because I'm not getting in trouble. Number 7, King announced that it's purchased AI software developer Pelletarian. Who? With the acquisition, the mobile game firm intends to increase its use of AI and machine learning in its games. So in case you're curious, that is an ABK purchase now, and therefore an Activision Blizzard purchase, and therefore Microsoft. And therefore the world. A rumor, Avalanche Studios is currently working on a roguelike game. Keep an eye out for that. Number 9, Call of Duty developer Infinity Ward may be working on an open world RPG per a recent job ad. That would be weird when Modern Warfare 2 is literally coming out in a few months. Number 10, Sonic Frontiers will take 20 to 30 hours to finish, or 100 plus to complete. So if you want to run around in Breath of the Wild really fast, well, there you go. Number 11, Digimon Survive release date confirmed to be July 29. Why is that on this? Are either of us Digimon fans?
Nope.
All right, what the fuck? Apparently, I mean, I appreciate the meme, though. Number 12, apparently Neil Blomkamp is working on the Gran Turismo movie, and it'll be released in 2023. Here's the current plot tagline. Based on a true story, the film is the ultimate wish fulfillment tale of a teenage Gran Turismo player whose gaming skills won a series of Nissan competitions to become an actual professional race car driver. I'm not watching that.
Yeah, I don't understand how this is going to be made interesting.
That immediately made me not want to watch it. Number 13, Sony is reportedly working on a PS5 Pro controller. Huh, that's weird. When did they use Pro before?
Suspicious.
I can't wait for them to announce the PS5 Pro controller alongside the PS5 Pro console when they drop the PSVR 2 all within the same month.
Ugh.
World War I multiplayer FPS is Anzo. Will launch on September 13th. That would be the Verdun makers' next game.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 5 will follow Elder Scrolls 6. We already talked about that, so Creation Engine better get spinning. Pokemon Snap is the next N64 game to be added to Switch Online on June 24th. Funny they're adding this after they've already remade Pokemon Snap. And number 17, Diablo 4. Level cap is 100 and the campaign length is 35 hours. Nate is skeptical. Optimistic was the wrong word. Skeptical is the right one. Anyway, it's been 7 days. What you been up to?
Watching the normal stuff. Kenobi, trying to catch up on The Boys.
I am behind on The Boys now.
I've only seen 2 episodes.
I think I'm in 3 or I'm at the end of 2. I don't remember.
The anime thing, of course. What did I play anything this week? I did hop into Sniper Elite and replay the first mission.
Oh?
To
Were you looking
figure
for
out
things?
some... No, I wanted to try out some of the other guns we had. And then I also wanted to figure out troubleshoot an issue I was having with my wireless mouse. And yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Word.
Got nothing else. What have you been up to?
I've been doing a little bit of the WoW, pick things up, shoot them, heal them, put them down.
That's fair.
Slowly getting back on the workout train.
Yuck.
Played my last volleyball for the last couple months here, probably. For the next couple months. I might play pickup or something, but my scheduled volleyball is done for now. Which I want to play more, but I also don't at the same time. I'm in like that weird where I don't want to play at some of the places that I know I could play at. So
yeah.
It's just kind of like, but I'm also not torn up about not playing. Like, all right, I just switch my physical activity to like working out and I'll be all right. So I worked out this week and I think I pulled something I felt really sore. So I delayed my workout until tomorrow. I'll work out tomorrow and then go from there. Not that, again, this matters to anybody, but if I don't tell you, I won't keep myself accountable.
I'm the opposite. I generally have a better success rate if I don't tell people what I'm doing.
I have a better success rate for more important things if I do that. Smaller things like this, I need to tell somebody because then they'll kind of usually I'll have a thing around it. But if it's like a big thing, like my trip was,
yeah,
you're the only person that knew. Nobody else knew. Nobody else still knows. Like nope, keep that under wrap.
Now people know.
Nah, they don't know. But there's stuff like that. Like I just nope. Anything like that stays with me because I'm not speaking my own failures into the world on things that actually I deem matter. Started playing, we played Sniper Elite before. We haven't played it since. So, but I haven't. So we need to get back into that. Started Shredder's Revenge. Played the first map of that, and I was like, yeah, I'm right there, right back in it. And then I did some races in Gran Turismo this week. Little vroom vroom.
I'm having an inner turmoil with Gran Turismo because I want to play it, but I don't want to play it on the controller. But I don't have the room for sim stuff like steering wheels and stuff like that. So
the stuff that you've ordered,
yeah. So
which is the other issue. You have it, or could have it.
I have the steering wheel. I ended up ordering anything else because I was just like I literally don't have any place to put it. So it's like
that's the only thing I again almost got annoyed at myself earlier today because I was racing. I think it was the second race I was doing, and I just had that Zoolander moment. What is this? A steering wheel for ants?
But I don't know. It's whatever, figure it out at some point in life.
But yeah, that's really it. Finally got the lawnmower back, so I actually get to. I don't normally look forward to mowing the lawn, but I'm looking forward to mowing the lawn this weekend.
I think it's going to be. I don't think it's super hot this weekend. So I think
it's
you should
supposed
be
to
all
be.
right.
It's supposed to be pretty just chill, and I get to just sit there and listen to. It might be a little Geralt, try to catch up, because I think I'm halfway through or a third of the way through the final book, or second to last book.
Mm-hmm.
Tower of Swallows, not Lady of the Lake. So yeah, making progress there, and yeah, it'll be good time. So yeah, that's all I got. Anything else?
I got none.
All right, well, we'll see you guys in 7 days. Bye-bye.